Hi, it's Nick from TMR Now, and I'm here with the displeasure of going through double leg stretch. Double leg stretch is one of the very important mat exercises that Joseph Pilates created, and I think it's important for many of us because the exercise itself, the shapes created in it, appear in so many other exercises on all of the equipment. Having that double leg stretch in your body and in your system is a great reference point when you're struggling with roll up, teaser, or the 100. But it is exceptionally difficult to do it properly. And it has led to so many dilutions and adaptations, which in my purest heart don't serve the method. But we have to find ways to make it comfortable in your body to get the strength to then do it without the props and the crutches. So I've got a few props and crutches with me today, one being my body, and then I've got a chi ball, a pole, and a magic circle, as well as a Kuna board. If you have anything that can replicate these, if you don't have them at home, go grab them. Check out the single leg stretch tutorial because they are very linked. The single leg stretch precedes double leg stretch. And let's get going. Take a lay down on your back. Get comfortable. Now, if that means a ball under your head or a pillow or a cushion or a towel or a t-shirt or a singlet, go for it. So lying down on your back, my first thought is this is quite relaxing. But we're not allowed to do that in double leg stretch because it's a coil-recoil exercise where you're in and out without a moment to calm. So if you need some calm, take it right now and drop. One thing I want you to consider is what happens when you put pressure into one end of your body. So right now, dig your heels down into the floor. Now when I dig my heels down, my hips elevate a little bit, which is fun actually. And because I've got this unstable ball behind my head, other things kind of rattle up my kinetic chain. As I push down, my hips lift up a little bit. Let's look at the reverse. Push your head back. And so can you feel how my chest lifts up? Does yours? I'm probably trying to create that. Okay, so let's reset. So what happens when you push your head back? Does your chest lift and extend, or does your torso go rigid? So sometimes when problem solving the double leg stretch, we need to think about not new things to do, but what are we doing in our body? Double leg stretch, for those who are uninitiated, you lucky buggers, is when you start in your ball position and you reach your arms overhead and then you circle around as you pull into deep hip flexion and grab as low down on the ankle as you can. Reach out 1, circle 2. That's double leg stretch. Double leg stretch can be broken down, of course, into the torso position and the legs. And the third companion of the exercise is the coordination. Because we're not just textbooks, we are moving human bodies. So if we think about the torso position, we're thinking about flexion, so you've curved yourself up, you're in this roll-up position, and you're holding your ankle so you're reaching forward. From here, I'm going to squeeze my circle, take my arms overhead, I'm going to squeeze my circle and pull back. And I'm trying to do that without influencing my pelvic position too. So from here, squeeze and lift, squeeze and return. Squeeze and lift, squeezing back. Now that's absolutely rigidage for me, but if you go into a hot meltdown the second your head lifts off the ball, then it's not for you. So we can look at the other way of doing double leg stretch, which will just be head down, stretch away, and find that connection and pull in. Now your personal challenge as you do that is to observe what happens to the ball or the cushion. So as the arms go overhead, I want you to think about length through the body, as if you're about to lift off. but don't. Whereas my natural tendency is, as the arms go back, my head squashes the ball. So if you're fighting against yourself in double leg stretch, you're absolutely, maybe that's part of the problem. Okay, one of my teachers, Cara Risa, talks about something that her teacher, Cassie Stanford Grant, taught her, which was this idea of lying on a lilo. So if you're in the pool, and let's not be stingy, we're in Palm Springs and there's a cocktail on the way, and we're on this beautiful pool. It's got amazing tile work underneath, you know, everything's colorful and gorgeous. And you're lying on this lilo, and I want you to lift one leg, but I don't want the lilo to swish down in the water. So let's just think about this, like you're an absolute plank and there's tension through the whole body down into the lilo, floating on top of that beautiful pool. But as you lift one leg, you don't capsize and drop. Let's go again. So there's tension down, directed on purpose down, and you lift without twisting and capsizing into the water. All right, now with that same focus, you're going to do a mini curl up. So the ball is here if you need it for support. And from here, I'm pressing down into the lilo through my legs, down into the lilo through my torso, and yet I find a way to come up without strain. I'm still floating, I haven't capsized. Now from here, I'm going to pull in without capsizing. I'm going to push away and lie down. Let's do this a few times. If you're already in neck tension chaos, this is not for you right now, but just have a look and see what you might be able to create one day. And let's work some preparations to help you. I'd be going back in the platform to the neck stretcher, strengthener, refresher, magic circle stuff for sure. I'm going to curl up. I'm pushing down into my lilo. I'm going to bend my legs, and I'm going to bend more because I'm not going to capsize. And I'm going to push away, not capsizing. I'm maintaining that lovely long curve, and I'm dropping with control. Now I'm going to add a leg lift. Breath in. I'm in the lilo. I feel warm. I'm feeling fantastic in that water. Cocktail's on the way. But I'm going to sneak in a little double leg lift. And my arms are pressing in the lilo. I've got that connection to the ground. I keep the connection to the ground and I push away. Full disclosure, my neck is starting to get a bit uncomfortable. Okay, so what about if I put it here? Put that circle back there. I'm still thinking of the lilo, a bit lower, curling up, and I'm pressing my head into the circle. I instantly feel better. I'm going to pull my legs in. I'm going to maintain the torso connection. I'm going to go elbows wide so you can see my beautiful face. I'm going to pump away. I'm going to pull in. So I'm on the reformer and I'm pushing away. Notice that I'm not very high in my upper back. So I'm not up here. I'm not drifting into teaser. I'm very clear that it's a long, shallow scoop. And now come down with control and don't capsize your lilo. So the base position is long, it's shallow, and it's stable. The arm stuff is pure convection unless you are really thick and grounded in your arm to body, that it's not distracting you. So if we look at that now, I'm going to use this reformer pole just for a second. So I'm going to curl up as high as I can, and then I'm going to pull in. Now that hurts. I'm going to pull in as much as I can and see how low I can get my ankles. Now from here, I'm pulling wide on the pole as I push my legs out and pull back in. And I go wide on the pole, legs away, and I pull in. I get rid of it. I imagine wide on the pole, and I push around the corner and I come in. I go wide on the pole, I press around the corner, and I come in and I lie down. Now, never in my life have I done double leg stretch looking like I belonged in the army like that. But this concept of kind of connecting your limbs into your body and working with props to get that dynamic connection of humerus into armpit into center helps with your double leg stretch. Let's have a quick look. So when you're in your double leg stretch position, which is that legs out, arms overhead, I'm thinking about that mystical time where I take a holiday and I'm lying in a hammock. Then my funny sense of humor takes me to thinking of feeling like a trussed up ham with knots all over me. But I want you to think of being actually comfortable. Can you feel the fabric underneath your body supporting you? Or have you pushed down too far so there's more tension in the hammock at your feet? Or are you up higher so you've lost that connection with the curve of the hammock? Things to consider. The other point that helps me, and I note for my long-legged clients, is that when the hip socket is here, it is not on the outside, it's actually kind of here-ish, right? Quite low and into the midline. But when you have a long leg, sometimes it can be helpful to think that the hip socket isn't here, that the hip socket, it's not here, it's in and under, by the way, I'm just not going to grab myself, but that the hip socket is here. So you think of the femur coming right into where your belly button is, just as a concept, just go with me. So from here, as my arms and legs reach away, I'm not thinking of the weight of my legs rocking off my lower back. I'm actually thinking about the weight of the legs being absorbed by my lower back. So the thighs shunt in under my rib cage, and that gives me this strong, long position. How exciting. Reach away, reach for the ankles, thighs under ribs. So there we go. I hope you've had a little digestion of a few different ways to consider double leg stretch, and next time we run through that mat series, when you build from single leg to double leg, you've got some different tools and tactics to get through it and to be excited about it, especially when you see how it comes through in teaser and in backstroke on the reformer. That strength in that long position is not easy to get, but once you understand it, I bet it's not too far away. Have a lovely day.